Amazon did $716.9 billion in revenue last year. Most of that, 82 cents of every dollar, came from you buying stuff online. And here's the part that should stop you cold. That giant chunk of the business barely makes any money at all. The real profit engine is a segment most customers never even think about, and it's not the one with Amazon's name written on the box. Let's set the scale first. Amazon's total revenue for fiscal 2025 was $716.9 billion. Operating profit was $80 billion. Net income was $78.2 billion. Those are staggering numbers for any company on Earth. But Amazon doesn't run as one business. It runs as three, and they report each one separately. North America Retail, International Retail, and Amazon Web Services, better known as AWS. When you split the $80 billion in operating profit across those three, the picture gets a lot less everything is retail, and a lot more this is basically a cloud computing company that happens to also sell you paper towels. North America, the segment selling you everything from diapers to laptops, generated $426.3 billion in revenue. That's more than half of Amazon's entire business. Its operating income was $29.6 billion. International Retail brought in $161.9 billion in revenue, but only $4.75 billion in operating income. Run the math, and that's an operating margin under 3%, thinner than a lot of grocery chains. Add North America and International together, and you get combined retail revenue of $588.2 billion, 82% of Amazon's total revenue, but combined retail operating income of just $34.4 billion, only 43% of the company's total profit. Now look at AWS. Amazon's cloud division brought in $128.7 billion in revenue, under 18% of total company revenue, but generated $45.6 billion in operating income. That's 57% of all the profit Amazon made last year, coming from less than a fifth of its revenue. And there's a fourth piece hiding in plain sight: advertising. Amazon disclosed $68.6 billion in advertising services revenue for the year: sponsored product listings, banner ads on product pages, video ads. That single revenue line is now bigger than Amazon's entire physical stores revenue, and it's widely understood in the industry to run at software-like margins, even though Amazon doesn't break out a separate operating income figure for it. Here's why the split looks like this. Retail, shipping physical boxes to your door, is a brutally low-margin business by nature. You've got warehouses, delivery trucks, packaging, returns, and razor-thin pricing competition. Amazon runs that business near break-even on purpose, using it as a magnet to build the largest captive customer base on the planet.
AWS, on the other hand, is a completely different animal. Once a company builds its infrastructure on AWS, moving off it is expensive and painful, so customers stay and pay recurring fees for years. That stickiness lets AWS run at a roughly 35% operating margin, while retail scrapes by in the low single digits. Advertising piggybacks on both. Amazon already has the traffic from retail and the infrastructure from AWS, so selling ad placements to the same third-party sellers who use Amazon's marketplace is almost pure incremental profit. No factories or delivery trucks required. Put it together and you get a company that looks like a retailer on the outside, but is actually funded by a cloud business and an ad business layered on top of a retail operation that's mostly there to keep the flywheel spinning. Let's put every number in one place. Total revenue, $716.9 billion. Operating profit, $80 billion. Net income, $78.2 billion. North America, $426.3 billion in revenue, $29.6 billion in operating income. International, $161.9 billion in revenue, $4.75 billion in operating income. Combined retail, $588.2 billion in revenue, 82% of the total, but just $34.4 billion in operating income, only 43% of total profit. AWS, $128.7 billion in revenue, 18% of the total, generating $45.6 billion in operating income, 57% of total profit. And advertising services revenue, $68.6 billion. Amazon isn't really an e-commerce company that happens to also run a cloud business. Flip that. It's a cloud and advertising company that happens to also run the world's largest online store, because the store is what built the customer base and the data that make the other two businesses so valuable. If you're evaluating Amazon as an investor, or just trying to understand where the actual power in the company sits, look past the boxes on your porch and straight at the server racks and the sponsored listings. The product you see isn't the product making money pattern shows up constantly once you start looking for it. Subscribe, because next up, we're breaking down a coffee company where the real profit engine isn't the coffee, it's a stored value card sitting in your phone. Drop a comment if you want AWS's competitors covered next.